Welcome back to Ray's Garage. I'm Ray Cornelia, and today is Saturday, October 7th. This is shop update number 3. I'd like to start by thanking everybody who commented on shop date number 2, the previous video, on the compressed air system. I really do appreciate everyone's input, and with that information, I basically scrapped my current system and took all your suggestions and built a new delivery system, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. Also got a couple other little odds and ends done in the shop this past week, and as you can see behind me, Philip and I got the closing 10x36 moved in a temporary location. It's just sitting on some 2x4s. I still need to run power. I still need to move it. This is not going to be its permanent home just yet. Just like moving furniture around, I don't know where it's going to work yet. So anyway, let's take a look before I bring you over to the compressed air delivery system, and I'll show you the couple little things I did get done. I'm going to go handheld here, guys. I'll try to keep it steady. This past week, I got another 30 amp 220 circuit installed using 10-2 MC Lite, which is just the BX Armor cable, except that they use an aluminum sheath instead of steel. Down here I also got another 50 amp outlet for the welders and plasma cutter. That's number 6 wire. I didn't find it necessary to run a separate outlet for each one of these machines. As you guys know, this copper wire is extremely expensive, so I'll basically share this outlet with the plasma cutter and welders, and the other outlet I'll just share the grinder and the bandsaw. They're both 220. They only pull like 10 amps, I think, so it's overkill basically. So let's take a look at the panel and the additions there. As you can see, the panel's starting to grow. I got a 40 amp breaker right here for the air compressor, 50 amp breaker for this guy right here, and that is also for welders and plasma cutter. I got my small air compressor plugged into it right now. The other 50 amp I just showed you is right here, and the other 30 amps right here. So I still have plenty of space to grow. I still have a few more circuits to put in, and we'll get there, man. Okay, so now the new system. Again, I got a 1-inch outlet discharge port on the air compressor. What I did is, instead of that short 18-inch leader hose, I had a 6-footer made, and as you can see, it's got plenty of wiggle room. That is connecting to the 1-inch T with a drain, and that's back in the corner. Let me come back out here. As you can see, I did move the air compressor back into that corner, so I have a little bit more space, floor space here. It is not bolted down. It is sitting on the anti-vibration pads, and it hasn't budged, and I've run it probably 4 or 5 cycles now. So just in case it does budge, we got a nice big leader hosing. Okay, so then that 1-inch T basically runs all the way up to a 90, and this is all 1-inch copper. Comes over, it comes down, and then I have it coming across here with a drain. Okay, so basically it's a hybrid loop. So then I come back up in all 1-inch, come over, come back down, and then this is neck down to the 3/4 inch union right here. Then I got a rapid air 3/4 inch inlet. This is a water and particle separator is what that is. and then I have it 3/4 inch out going to a 3/4 inch ball valve, and that's so I could shut off the air system after the regulator. I threw in a, this is a high flow air chuck, and basically it's neck down to 1/2 inch here with a 1/2 inch hex adapter to, this is quarter pipe. And it's high flow, so it has the big hole in it. Then I have it coming over in 3/4, and then this here's the other union for this guy that of course will run back up. Sorry about that, guys, I'm handheld here. So then of course this is going to run all the way up that 2x6 stud, and it's going to feed the loop up there. So now let me take you over and show you what I have for the rest of the system. I am not doing the entire system in copper. You guys would probably fall over if you knew how much money I had in just these materials right here to do this. I also wanted to mention the last system I had, the last manifold system with the water trap and all that, that was all stuff I had on hand. So I kind of cheaped out and tried to do with what I had on hand. But you know what? You guys are absolutely 100% right. It would have choked down the system, and I'd be kicking myself. So now it's got a nice big feed. So there's a look again with the compressor in the corner. They asked for a 2-foot clearance around the whole unit. I don't see that necessary, because this thing ran 4 or 5 cycles while I was breaking it in, and it got warm, but it didn't get hot. So anyway, there's a look again at the leader hosing, and that is fire resistant 1-inch Goodyear hose. So let's break, and I'll show you the rest of the system. So instead of spending the hundreds and hundreds of dollars it would have cost to done in copper tubing, I decided to go with the Rapid Air Max Line 3/4 inch 300 foot master kit. It came in this box. After doing my planning, I had to buy an additional fittings and tees. Let me move this box real quick, hold on. So here's everything that came in the kit, plus some additional fittings. These are the wall outlet blocks. And you know, I'll video this while I'm putting it up, and you know, of course, give you my thoughts on it. There's all the fittings. They give you some spare O-rings for the fittings, clips to screw the 3/4 inch to the wall or ceiling. I plan on running a full loop up in my trusses. This is the cutter tool. These are additional tees I purchased, a couple 90s in case I can't bend a nice 90 in the tubing. So this stuff, guys, all it is PE-AL-PE, which is basically PEX, aluminum PEX, but only it's blue. Most of you would recognize this as orange, and it's what goes under like a concrete slab for heating and cooling. So here's a 300-foot roll of this stuff. That should be plenty to do what I need to do. Again, I'm going to be running up inside the trusses a complete loop. Of course, the tees are going to be for the drops, and that loop's going to run all the way around the entire shop. And then about here, I'm going to run an H pipe basically and come back and loop it, and then continue all the way around the shop. So that way I will always have air anywhere in the shop. So that's why I got the 300-foot roll. Right now I'm going to have 6 drops, and I also have a hose reel, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put that yet. But anyway, here's a little sneak peek of the MaxLine system by Rapid Air. I found, if you guys are interested in it, I found it cheapest on Amazon. And there's a distributor on Amazon called UPE Group. And they're the ones that had the best price for all these fittings. These guys are very expensive. They're like just under 20 bucks a piece. So whatever I don't use is definitely going back. These are for the wall outlets. These are the keys that came with the kit. Again, the wall outlets here. You know, and I'll video as we're putting all this stuff together. I have a total of 6 of these. I'm still waiting on 3 of them. 3 came with the kit, and I purchased 3 more. So anyway, there you have it, guys. There's your update for shop update number 3. I thank you again for all the input on the air delivery system. Like I said, it's basically a hybrid of all the recommendations. And I try to use what I had already invested in. That's why I only have one big loop in the 1 inch. Again, yes, it's neck down to 3/4 right here and goes back to a 1 inch tube, but I wasn't replacing that because I already had it. I mean, this stuff's about $38 a stick, a 10-foot stick. So anyway, thanks again. Everyone have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you soon.